I'm going on a trip to have fun with my sisters. I'm going to use your card. Suddenly, Lucas said this over the phone. For the past few weeks, he had been coming home late, whispering on the phone with my sister-in-law, and I noticed something was off when he came home, but I never imagined he was planning a trip. I had a hunch he was probably up to something with his sisters, so I was mentally prepared. For now, I think I'll pretend to be surprised. I don't really understand why. Why use my card? I'm fully aware that his departure date for the trip is today. It's truly laughable. If he plans to deceive me, I wish he would at least plan it carefully. I felt a bit sorry for him, and I overlooked his unreasonable remarks until now. But today, of all days, I was so filled with anger that I wanted to shout, "I have to say something!" Being as prepared as I am, there's no way I haven't taken measures. I've never argued with those mischievous siblings before, but now I'll give them a piece of my mind and render them incapacitated. If I can just get through today, everything will be settled and I can move on. They seem to be enjoying themselves, but one of their travel companions is actually a partner in a revenge plan I've orchestrated. I'm Emily, 33 years old, don't have any children, and bought a detached house with my husband Lucas a few years ago. I started working at my current company right after high school. Thanks to my dedication to my job, I was recognized by my superiors and encouraged to obtain qualifications for career advancement. The company culture valued individual qualifications and achievements, and I held a position at an unusually young age, becoming a chief at 21. However, I don't think being a chief is something to boast about. I aspire to be promoted to a division head in the future. After becoming chief, we welcomed a few new employees, and Lucas was one of them. He is older than me, but in terms of company hierarchy, he is below me. I was tasked with training 3 new employees, including Lucas. Even though you're around our age, you are a chief? That's impressive. Thank you. I think I'm about a year younger, but I do have work experience. I've been working for this company since I graduated from high school. You started right after high school? That's impressive from such a young age. I respect that. He used to flatter me like this. Eventually, I gave in to Lucas's passionate advances, and before I knew it, I had fallen in love with him. From there, our story followed the usual love story progression. Dining at restaurants, weekend drives, and then moving in together. When living together, small issues became more apparent, especially Lucas's carelessness, but I thought maybe he felt relaxed with me. We didn't take much time to move from living together to getting married. Naturally, we discussed our future together. My idea is for Emily to stay at home. I'll earn the money, and Emily will manage the household. I want to become a father soon, and I also want to buy a house and even have a wedding. I think the older should be getting married first, then looking for a house, and lastly, having kids. What do you think? Well, your plan sounds appealing, Lucas, but I don't really think the older matters that much. However, I'm concerned about the budget. We do have some savings, but I'm not planning to quit my job. We can get maternity leave for pregnancy and childbirth, but buying a house requires a considerable amount of money, doesn't it? You have a point, but it's kind of hard knowing you earn more than me. Still, I can't give up on the idea of buying a house. I was hoping to buy one immediately after wedding. That's unrealistic. I earn more even now. As for the wedding and the house, we can plan for them, but maybe deciding whether I'll quit my job or not can wait until after we have a child. Yeah, maybe that's better. We can decide then. I intended to continue working, but if I kept listening to his demands, it seemed like there would be no end. So I reluctantly compromised. Before the wedding, Lucas's sister was traveling and couldn't attend the family meetup. As a result, the wedding day became the first time I met her. As I was in the waiting room of the wedding venue, she barged in, took a good look at me, and with a smug smile, she said, "Oh, is this Lucas's choice? She looks quite plain compared to his previous girlfriend." "Oh, I'm Sophia. We are going to be as sisters-in-law. I don't like formalities, so nice to meet you." Yes, my name is Emily. I'm glad to meet you." Sophia left the room with a light wave of her hand. I was left behind, taken aback by her blunt behavior. It wasn't hard to imagine that she was a problematic person. Later, I met Sophia's husband, and he seemed like a sensible person. After the wedding, Lucas and I looked at several houses and eventually found one that we both agreed on. I realized that I couldn't live as carefree as when I was single, so I became more focused at work. Our peaceful days came to an end on a certain holiday. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. I couldn't get to the door immediately, so I asked Lucas to answer it. The person who entered with a cheerful voice was Lucas's sister-in-law, Sophia. "Hi, Emily. And wow, Lucas, way to go! Such a stylish home. You really did well, my little brother." "Thanks. I've been working hard to earn. Consider this place as your second home and feel free to come over anytime." "Oh, and Emily, can you get some tea and snacks quickly? Sophia took the time to visit us." I was annoyed by Lucas's domineering attitude. It seemed he wanted to show off in front of Sophia. I suspected that he told her he bought the house all by himself. In reality, I provided the down payment and the mortgage payments come from my account. However, Lucas was adamant about having the house in his name. We compromised and put it under his name. It's our house, so I thought it didn't matter whose name it was under. But thinking about what he might have told Sophia, I couldn't help feeling a bit displeased. However, I didn't want to create an uncomfortable atmosphere, so I did as Lucas said. "I hope you like it. Lucas really works hard." "See? Emily always seems to look down on people, doesn't she? Just like a boss." "Actually, I am in a higher position than Lucas at work." "Oh, right. Did I not mention it? When I joined the company, Emily was already a team leader, right? It makes sense since she started working right after high school. But I believe it's only a matter of time before I surpass her." "Wait, you only graduated from high school? You seem so smart, but you have a lower educational background than me." "Is it embarrassing to only have a high school diploma?" "Not really, but I have a higher education than you, and I'm your sister-in-law, so I feel I can ask you for favors easily." "Well, that's true. Emily, you should prioritize what your sister says. Remember, if you don't listen, you won't be allowed to live in this house." I was a bit taken aback by their comment. Just because I only graduated from high school and am her sister-in-law, does that mean they can easily ask me for favors? Moreover, not allowed to live in this house? Do they really think that's a valid argument? If it was a joke, that would be better. For the time being, I smiled and discreetly moved to the kitchen. I overheard their conversation in the living room. It seemed that their earlier talk was not a joke. After a while, my sister-in-law came to the kitchen. "Emily, I actually have a favor to ask. Will you listen to me?" "Is there something you're troubled with?" "I just need some money. About $3,000 should be fine." "Do you think $3,000 is a small amount? That's quite a lot. Can you explain why you need it?" "You're so nosy. It's just $3,000, right? You're a manager, so you can afford it. It's for home renovations." "Home renovations? Didn't you say you lived in a condo? I remember you bragging about it quite obnoxiously not too long ago." Did I say that? Anyway, just give me the money. Lucas says it's fine to lend money, but he wants to go through you." "Why are you deciding all by yourself?" "Emily, just give her the money. If you want to continue working, give her the money. Otherwise, I'll contact your boss right now and tell them you're thinking of resigning." "Understood. I'll prepare the money for Sophia, but please prepare a written agreement." "An agreement? We're family, aren't we?" "Whether we are family or not, this is my condition. Also, please prepare an identification card with a stamp and a photo. Otherwise, I won't give you the money." That's annoying, but if I can get the money, I'll do as you say." "Tomorrow is fine, right? It'll be in the evening." My sister-in-law forcefully borrowed money from me. My intuition was telling me that I needed a promissory note. The next day, while complaining, my sister-in-law brought her SIL and ID as promised. I didn't notice before we got married, but I was surprised by the excessive love for Lucas's sister. The only word I could think of was dumbfounded. Trying to explain anything to him would probably be a waste of time. Apparently, my sister-in-law enjoyed buying luxury brands with that money. After that, the demands for that never ceased, and the intervals between loans got shorter. However, whenever I lent money, I made sure to have a promissory note. She managed to accumulate a debt of about $7,000 in just 1 month. Just when I thought it had to end, I received a promotion offer from my boss, from team leader to department manager. I was so happy I could almost cry. I returned home jumping with joy, and I brought up the promotion topic to Lucas, who was relaxing at home on paid leave. "Lucas, guess what? Big news!" "Oh, you're back. You look so happy. What happened?" "Actually, today my boss offered me the position of department manager. Being a general manager is my ultimate goal, but I'm just too happy to be one step closer." "Really? Why you? You didn't jokingly say, 'Yes, I'm happy,' did you?" "Of course not. You knew I was aiming for the general manager position, right?" "I knew, but couldn't you at least say, 'I'll discuss it with my husband before deciding'? Don't you remember when I told you to stay home? It's not fair for me to stay the same and for you to get promoted." "Even if you don't agree, it's a problem. I've told you that I want to continue working, and you'll have your chance someday too." Hearing this, Lucas picked up his smartphone and started a call. From the conversation, I could guess he was talking to his sister. After a few minutes, she arrived. "How dare you, as a wife, steal your husband's promotion? What were you thinking?" "Steal? That's an unfair accusation. The workplace is meritocratic." "Are you trying to say Lucas lacks ability? Ever since you joined our family, you've been so arrogant." "Worst woman ever. Let's enjoy with her money. Let's go eat some barbecue." They went through my bag, took my bank card, and left. I tried to resist, but I couldn't against the two of them. The two left in high spirits, and I was left in tears of frustration. Marrying him was a mistake. It's true what they say about regrets coming too late. I decided to find a divorce lawyer as soon as possible. He didn't come home that night. The next day, when I went to the office, Lucas was already there, smirking and talking to me. "Thanks for the treat last night. Nothing tastes better than a free meal." On the receipt he threw at me, there was the name of a luxury barbecue restaurant and the amount $800. Furthermore, receipts from a cabaret club and host club showed an extravagant total of $4,000. I had a lot to say, but I held back as other employees started to arrive at the office. On my way home, I checked my bank account at an ATM and saw that $8,000 had been withdrawn. Overwhelmed, as soon as I got home, I exploded with anger. "Lucas, what's the meaning of this? Withdrawing $5,000, eating at a barbecue restaurant, and enjoying the nightlife? That's not your money. And it's not the money I saved before we got married." This is what I come home to, knowing it's money from before the marriage. Why should I care? Nothing's going to change no matter what you say now. Just give it up. He seemed not to want to be pursued any further and disappeared into the bathroom. I decided to end it. There's no other choice but divorce. I waited for the week to end and visited a law firm. Weeks flew by in an instant. Divorce was inevitable. Ever since that incident, Lucas was often out late at night and hardly home on weekends. I thought about hiring a private investigator. Around that time, I received a call from Ethan, my sister-in-law's husband. "Hello, is this Emily's phone?" "Oh, if it isn't Ethan. Long time no see. It's Emily." "I'm sorry for not keeping in touch. Suddenly, is my wife over there?" "Sophia, she hasn't come here today." "I see. She's been away from home a lot recently. Comes back late and goes somewhere on weekends. When I confronted her yesterday, she said she was with Lucas, so I shouldn't worry." "Oh, I see. Lucas has been the same way. Maybe they've been going out together." "At this point, I don't really care anymore, but there's something I wanted to discuss with you. Do you have a moment?" "You don't care? What could it be?" I have time. Please continue." I told him about the two of them and their reckless actions. I also told him how much debt my sister-in-law had accumulated. When I finished, Ethan let out a deep sigh. I apologized for my wife's behavior. To be honest, I'm at my wit's end. I've contemplated divorce multiple times, but just couldn't take the final step. I've gathered enough evidence for a divorce. It could be useful for you too. Be brave, Ethan. You don't need to put up with this anymore. Let's drop the hammer on these selfish siblings who only use others' money." Hearing you say that gives me courage. By the way, I think they might be planning a trip. I heard them discussing travel plans. Ethan also told me that she asked him for a long vacation and he found travel brochure beneath a pile of cosmetics. A thought struck me. Maybe Lucas too? I peeked into his secret shelf and sure enough, amidst business cards from hostess clubs, there were travel brochures. The travel plans Ethan mentioned might be right. I found a lot of brochures. I have a great idea. I explained my plan and he promised to cooperate willingly. From now on, we decided to communicate via smartphone messages and ended the call. I sent all the useful information for the divorce and started refining our strategy. Then, 2 weeks later on a certain morning, Lucas left home unusually early. In reality, thanks to a message from Ethan, I already knew the reason as of yesterday. After a few hours, the phone rang. I'm going on a trip with my sister. I'll be charging it to your card, so thanks in advance. For the past few weeks, he'd been coming home late and whispering on the phone with Sophia. I had been wondering what was up, but now I knew. I knew they were up to no good, but my countermeasures were already in place. But for now, let's pretend to be surprised, shall we? On my card? Why? Tell me the reason. Seriously? You're so oblivious. Damn. I've been discussing travel plans with my sister. Even your brother-in-law is involved. He's coming as our bodyguard and caretaker. Lately, Emily, you've forgotten your place. Ever heard of living within your means? My sister said you won't understand unless we discipline you. So, from now on, just listen. It was time to snap. I've been extremely patient and tolerant with the two of them, so I think this kind of counteraction is justified. The word mercy no longer exists in my vocabulary. Lucas, can you say that again? Again? Emily's card. Weird. My cash card is in my wallet, isn't it? You're joking, right? It's right here. I have it. Wait. This isn't it. So clumsy. I can't believe you didn't notice. The card you took is an old expired membership card from the fitness club. I admit it looks similar though. That's impossible. No way. It's a membership card. When I looked at it, I was sure it was a bank card. Is your eyesight okay? I can hear your whole conversation because the speaker on your smartphone is on. Who would be so stupid as to confuse a fitness club membership card with a bank card? I saw it too. How did this even happen? So it was a sibling conspiracy. Disappointing. If you mustn't know, I swapped the bank card with the membership card last night. I was worried about checking it before you left this morning, but it seems you didn't. Emily, stop doing stupid things. I'm the one who wants to call someone stupid here. I feel sorry for you, Lucas. Why do you think you are acting like this as his wife? You won't get away with this next time we meet. I'll be waiting with gifts for both of you. You think you can just brush this off with some random gift? Better prepare a weight of cash. We'll see. It'll be a surprise until then. Never mind about later. What will we do during our trip? Emily, aren't you sending money? I pressed the end call icon. I had nothing more to say. Then I received a follow-up message from Lucas saying, Don't forget the money. Your brother-in-law is with me. I simply replied, I know, and went back to bed. I was awakened by the ringtone of the phone, probably sometime after noon. There was a huge call record and messages left on my mobile phone. I answered Lucas's call after contacting to Ethan. "Why haven't you been picking up? I need the money. Please, I'm about to freeze to death." Of course, it's cold in Boston these days. February is the coldest month of the year. From the tone of Lucas's call, it seemed that my revenge plan was going well. "Weren't you relaxed because you're with Ethan? Are you not with him?" "That's what I want to know. It's so cold and Ethan has vanished." "Well, in answer to your question, as siblings with dark intentions, the wife and the brother-in-law fought back. You remember when you first called and were distracted? Ethan escaped. As for Ethan, he's on a plane heading home. I was informed when he brought it. End of discussion. Got it?" "Are you two having an affair behind our backs?" "Stop that. We are purely allies for revenge. We have no intention of helping you two. Please find your way back on your own. Goodbye." I issued a final warning and hung up the phone. As time went on, Ethan's flight arrival time approached. We decided to meet with a lawyer and finalize our plans. We'll quickly divorce before Lucas and Sophia get home. I had the lawyer come to the house because I could see Lucas and his sister planning to attack me. After waiting for a while, Lucas stormed in yelling, "Emily, you better be ready for the consequences of your prank. Why don't you leave before you get thrown out?" "Ethan, I know you're in on this too. What do you mean by leaving me behind? Do you want a divorce? I want you to apologize now." "Shut up. Just sit down." The usually quiet husband's sudden outburst shocked Sophia, and Lucas was the same. Without delay, the lawyer handed his business cards to both and introduced himself. Both were stunned, just staring at the card. "Now, here's a gift from me and Ethan." Saying that, we placed a bundle of documents in front of the two of them. Their faces went pale as they read on. "What's this about alimony? Are you saying we're splitting up? That can't be." "I'd like to know the same thing." "Let's get divorced." "There's no reason for a divorce. This must be some kind of joke." "Oh, it's a joke. I'll leave you two alone. I'll be going now." "If I may begin?" "I've been recording the verbal abuse that had become a part of our daily life, like the one you called from the trip. Our relationship is irreparable." "Calm down. It's not a big deal." "I am calm. You'll pay half the down payment for our home and all the remaining loan. I haven't forgotten you took my savings and wasted it. I'll get every penny back." "And sister-in-law, you still owe me. I know you went on luxurious trips with Lucas. Settle it properly." "Emily, didn't Lucas buy this house? It's ridiculous to argue, but I've never taken out a loan or used your money to have fun with Lucas." "Sophia, please read the documents carefully. They include a promissory note for the accumulated debt." "I don't remember that. Documents are just paper. There's no evidence." "Says we're done. Hand over the recorder." Lucas crushed the recorder with his foot, and Sophia tore up the documents. Both acted as if they had won. "So, Lucas, what do you think will happen if you destroy the playback device when the audio data is stored on the computer?" Also, Sophia, you obviously wouldn't hand over the original. You both are acting pretty foolish. It's simply thoughtless. Sophia, that's all from Emily, but now it's my turn. Did you think I wouldn't know about the substantial amount of money poured into the house club? Give it back. Lucas and Sophia were in tears like children. The breakdown of the claim amount from me to Lucas is $3,000 from his assets, $7 million as a down payment for my home, and $6,000 for unauthorized use of my savings, totaling about $8 million. Additionally, there will be an added $1,500 monthly payment for my home. Next, for Sophia, due to the unauthorized use of my savings and the piled up promissory notes, the debt amount to $5,000 and $12,000 respectively, totaling $17,000. From Ethan to Sophia, considering the affair with the host, there is a consolation fee of $17,000, $6 million for unauthorized withdrawal of savings, and under the condition of not dividing any owned real estate, the total claim amounted to about $8 million. I thought Lucas and Sophia might not be the sharpest tools in the shed, and expected them to countersue, but the lawyer's note on the last page stating, "There's no chance of winning in court. A decent lawyer wouldn't take this case. It's better to repay than waste money on this," ensured our discussions concluded peacefully. I had already packed my belongings, so I quickly left the house. The internal family dispute became known to the company, and he was demoted. Within a month of the incident, I received a call from Lucas. "Emily, it's so lonely being alone. I never realized how miserable it is to live by oneself. I want us to be together again. I'm willing to prioritize your career above all." "That's not happening. Never call me again." "Emily, it's me, Sophia. Are you listening? Please reconsider things with my brother. I believe we can be like real sisters and live together, the three of us. It'll be fun every day. I think we can respect each other's feelings more from now on." "Sophia, what's broken can't be mended. Let's put an end to this." Teary-eyed appeals don't work on me. I've set my phone to reject all calls and messages from the two of them. Lucas and Sophia seem to have also pleaded to Ethan in a similar manner, but he too appears to have decided to cut off all ties with them. I happened to see their house from a taxi, and there was a for sale sign up. I received the money in a lump sum, so I've had no involvement with them since. The whereabouts of the siblings are unknown. After bidding farewell to that house, I bought a condominium. My career has been on track, and I've been given a tentative promotion to the head of the department, a long-time dream of mine. Ethan, who used to be my brother-in-law, and I have been dining out together several times, hinting at the possibility of a relationship. He is considerably older than me, but our conversations are enjoyable, and it feels like we are on the same wavelength. We have many commonalities in our thought patterns. Everything has been going smoothly since ending my marriage. Divorcing was the best decision. As for the what's next between Ethan, my former brother-in-law, and me, that's a story for another time.